Is what's called a showcase. The showcase is to show everyone what Durfee High School is all about. One of the reasons for this is that I was talking to a department head about some of his teachers who have been in the building for a year, specifically a culinary arts teacher, who was talking about the fact that he really loved being a part of Durfee, but he hadn't been able to get into the other parts of the building, so he wasn't even really aware of what was going on in the other departments. And as we kind of thought about this, it came to mind that if we don't know what each of us are doing in the building, we can imagine what the community is thinking about what we're doing. So that's one of the reasons why we decided to have this evening, is to invite you here to take a look at what it is we do, also to highlight some of the partnerships that have grown over the years and some of the new ones that are running up right now.
It's so terrific to see everybody here tonight as we look out and see the many faces. We didn't know, given that this was the first annual showcase, whether it would be a home run or a bust, as Mr. Olson, who was at the basketball game tonight, said this morning, and we're so glad to see that it's a home run. Thank you all for being here. As Paul Marshall described, the purpose of the showcase is twofold for us. It gives us an opportunity to show the many programs and services and partnerships that exist in Durfee, and for all of you to see that, which you'll have an opportunity to do after the brief, I hope brief, public speaking program. But the second and important part for us tonight is to engage parents and community members in supporting all of our Durfee students, and I mean all, to be successful adults and contributing members of their communities, which we hope will be Fall River. I often refer to Durfee as the flagship of our school system. So today, in preparation for this evening, I thought, well, let me look up the term flagship and talk about that just briefly tonight. So online, Wikipedia, I did look up flagship. It's defined as the lead ship in a fleet of vessels, a designation given on account of being either the largest, fastest, newest, most heavily armed, for publicity purposes, the most well-known. It has also come to be an adjective describing the most prominent or highly touted product, brand, location, or service among those offered by a company. So we have much to be proud of at Durfee, particularly over the past 3 years. We've seen the graduation rate increase, the dropout rate decrease. And yet much more needs to be done so that Durfee becomes, to go back to the definition, our flagship school, the most publicly touted, and so that our students also have an opportunity to be extremely successful adults and contributing members of our community. As we think about the work that lies ahead of us, we have to prepare our students in a different way, because we now have to prepare our students for a knowledge-based economy. Companies are hiring the most highly educated people they can find and or can afford. Skills required in most workplaces today directly correspond to those that are needed for college success. College ready and work ready are really the same thing now. So an 18-year-old who is not college ready or work ready is sentenced to a lifetime of marginal employment. The bell curve no longer exists. We need all of our students, and I do mean all of our students, to be proficient, certainly in mathematics, science, and English language arts, in order to have the quality of life they so deserve. So I am going to ask 10 students to line up in front of the stage for me, because I'm going to do a living bar graph. So if you can all just stand in a nice, orderly row. Thank you. Currently, our graduation rate is 60%. So I'm going to ask the first 4 students to exit the stage. 4. Those students represent, that just left the stage, are dropouts currently. I'm going to ask one more student to exit the stage, because that student represents or is at risk for not passing MCAS as the 10th grade graduation requirement on the first try, and that student is going to need a lot of additional support in order to meet that graduation requirement. So in essence, what we are leaving behind half of our students, the half that have exited the stage. Whose children will they be? What do we say to our community? So tonight, I ask all of you, and all of you who were not able to be here tonight, to demand excellence from us, from your school system, to demand more of us so that we don't have half of our students exiting the high school before their time.